Well, I have been a chef for over 20 years, and I was tossing between medical and science basically. So I went to LTT and ALS basically after I finished my Certificate III. Basically, I sent my certificate in, I sent my resume in after they did an advertisement for a sample receipt officer, and I went in for the interview and basically got the job because my boss was actually a chef as well. And she was like, yep, it's one of the best places you can start out in the science industry, but it's one of the hardest jobs. And I was like, okay, cool, bring it on. Love science. And that's how I got into ALS and loving it. Absolutely loving it. So we send out samples we've received from other companies. We send them to Eurofins and other companies to get analysis done on them. We also receive a lot of regional stuff from like Mackay, Townsville, all around Australia, even around the world, and basically receive them and log the analysis, even splitting samples, it's mainly soil splitting that we do. Very full on job, but it's very fun. It's very rewarding for me because it's great to see what you can get through in a day and just learning I think there's 35,000 different tests that you can do and analysis that you can do on all different things, sand, water, paint, everything. And it's just amazing to see how far I've come in the last 8 weeks from knowing nothing to doing what I'm doing at the moment, which is logging and sitting at a computer and running around with samples and what's this? What's cyanide? What's this bottle for? I do have my own lab coat. I have my own little computer and setup section. And I've got a logbook which is about this thick that I'm getting through. But it's really cool because you can ask anyone a question and they'll give you an answer. And I'll take the time to do it. So it's really cool. Getting hands-on, I think the microscope work was the best fun for me because you actually got in and did it. It wasn't all about theory. A lot of it was health and safety, which I've done before, and I totally understand working in a lab, you need to do all that kind of stuff. I also enjoyed the theory part of it where you got taught at school, but then you went home and had to look up yourself and find the answers yourself and come up with the answers yourself to a certain degree. I mean, they're obviously in the book, but you had to translate it and make sure you were getting the right things. That was really good for me because it was like being back at school. And I hadn't been at school for like 20 years. So it was a fish out of water, but that was really fun for me. Oh, just so much knowledge. The benefit of knowledge. I don't think you could get anything better. Really cool to have all the knowledge about this kind of work and then being able to use that knowledge and moving forward into a career, whether it be in science and working in a lab, not just as a lab tech, but as a scientist. Like moving forward, my plan is to, in 10, 20 years time, become a scientist. And I was really grateful to just get that spark ignited at LTT. Sanju was great. She was really cool. Funny, just gets into it and explains it the best way she knows how. Like, cause she's got so much knowledge, you just want to squeeze the dry of it. My challenge while I was at school was the chemistry part, understanding, because I hadn't done like maths like that and working out maths and having to write it down. I think that was my biggest challenge, the maths and learning about the chemistry. But the chemistry part, like the atoms and how the positive and negatives and all that kind of stuff, when you start understanding it, it just like a penny drop. I am so willing to learn about that. It was all about the limb systems that they have. It was the chemistry. It was the basic knowledge, like the basic knowledge chemistry that you learned, that you go, oh, okay. You walk into the workplace, you go, yeah, I know that. I think that little bit of knowledge that I gained helped me understand how stuff works. Because I've been in a completely different industry for 20 years, and you walk in and if I hadn't have done my certificate, I would have just been like, no, I'm out. I don't even know where to start. I would say they would have to think about exactly what they want to do and run with it. They have to think about if it's medical, just start somewhere in medical. Get a certificate behind you because certificates are amazing. I haven't been to university, but I have found a lot of people have said to me, I wish I got a trade certificate. So just decide what you want to do and do it. It's literally 3 to 6 months of your life.